Bonjour, bienvenue. Thank you for coming to Canadian Tire Centre. Such a wonderful day for a big announcement. Thank you all for joining us today. My pleasure to welcome you. The run of show today, we'll have remarks from all four spokespersons. Mark Sutcliffe, the Mayor of Ottawa. Okay, the Honourable Neil Lumsden, Minister of Tourism, Culture and Sport for the province of Ontario. Cyril, Leeder, the President and Chief Executive Officer of Centre Sports and Entertainment. And Dean McIntosh, who's the Senior Vice President of Revenue, Fan Experience, and Community Impact at Hockey Canada. Following their remarks, we'll open up the floor to questions. After that, when we complete, we will have a photo opportunity at the top of section 107. So without further ado, I'll open up the floor to your worship.
Thank you, Brian. Is this on? Do I have to? Is it on?
Yes.
Oh, it is? Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. Bonjour tout le monde. C'est vraiment un plaisir d'être ici aujourd'hui pour cette annonce très importante. Et c'est une journée très spéciale pour le hockey et pour la ville d'Ottawa. I was here on January 3rd, 2009, almost 15 years ago now, when Jordan Eberle scored that goal for Canada to tie the game and send it into overtime against Russia and send Canada on to the finals of the World Junior Hockey Championship. And I don't think there have been too many other more electric moments in Ottawa sports history. So that's a moment that stands out for so many hockey fans and sports fans in our city. But it wasn't just that moment, it was the entire tournament that really was remarkable for the City of Ottawa and for Eastern Ontario. It was an incredible event. We broke attendance records. It was great for the local economy. It was just a wonderful feeling of support for Canada and togetherness and camaraderie and patriotism, and just a really, really special event that we all got to participate in 2008, 2009. And we're super excited about the fact that we'll be doing that again in just over 1 year from now. And moments like this are really what make the World Juniors, the moments like the Jordan Eberle goal and Canada winning that year, are what make the World Juniors such a special event. And I think it's an event that is perfectly suited to Ottawa, which is why I was excited to hear that there was an effort to bring the tournament back to Ottawa for 2025. I think it's ideally suited to our city. We have the facilities for it. We have the hockey fans. We have the volunteers. We love the game of hockey. It's so important to our country and to our city. And so I was thrilled when I heard that there was a bid happening, and I was very proud to support that bid. And we have a lot to look forward to in our city. We have, of course, the new ownership of the Ottawa Senators, and Michael Andlauer is here. Really pleased to see the progress that Michael is making with the team and bringing back Cyril Leeder as the CEO of the team and bringing back some other familiar faces too. That's been really great, and I've heard a lot of enthusiasm and support in the community for the changes that have been made recently. We have a great junior hockey team in Ottawa right now that's winning, and I think is in first place at the moment, which is fantastic. We have a new women's professional hockey team that I'm very excited about as well. Looking forward to, I'm going to be going to the first game on January the 2nd, so very excited about that. So Ottawa hockey fans have a lot to look forward to, including all of that, plus the World Juniors. And we're expecting that this event will generate something like $50 million in economic development for our city, as well as just being a fantastic event for the city to get behind, and also a great opportunity for volunteers. There are so many people in our community who want to be part of an event like this, and to give them that opportunity, I think, is really special. But I'm most excited just about having the tournament here and the energy that goes with that. I want to recognize my friend Steve Clark, who's here representing the provincial government along with the minister. And we were talking earlier about just how great it is for Eastern Ontario, not just for the City of Ottawa, but there will be so many people who will plan their December and January next year around this event coming to our city. So it is really special, and I am really excited to have the puck drop next year on Boxing Day. I assume it'll start on Boxing Day as always, and really looking forward to hosting the event. But I want to say in particular thank you to the provincial government for their support. I've said many times that I have a very strong working relationship with the provincial government, with Premier Ford and his entire team. Steve has been a great friend to the City of Ottawa, and anytime I've reached out to him asking for help, he's been available and accessible and ready to make things happen. The Premier has been as well, and many members of the Cabinet. And I can't remember exactly when it was, but at a critical time in the bidding process for this event, I reached out to Minister Lumsden and to the Premier and said, if we're going to host this event, here's what it will mean to the City of Ottawa at a really critical time for our city, frankly, with all of the challenges that we've faced in Ottawa over the last few years. And we need your help to do it. And they said yes. So I'm very grateful to our friends in the provincial government for helping make this event happen, and to Minister Lumsden and to the Premier in particular for driving this forward and supporting us in this really important bid that will be great for our city and great for tourism and great for residents of Ottawa. So I'm going to let the Minister speak to that now, but again, thank you for your support, and welcome to Ottawa.
Thanks, it's great to be back, and I also would like to recognize my colleague for coming down to the announcement. He is very supportive of a lot of what we do and a lot of what we do in caucus. His leadership is important, has been to me, being the new kid on the block of sorts for the last year and a half, and I thank him for that. This is a great afternoon, and I have to tell you that having just had conversations earlier, I used to get, and still do get, excited at sport, being there, either participating or watching family. Now I get excited about it when things like this happen, because of the extension I have to sport and how it affects the community and tourism and culture, and of course sport and the culture of sport. So I'm thrilled to be here with you today to participate in this announcement. I'd also like to thank the leadership and collaborative efforts of the Ottawa Senators, Ottawa Sports and Entertainment Group, Ottawa Tourism, which is huge, the City of Ottawa, the Eastern Hockey, and Hockey Canada. And because of them and the collaboration and the conversations, it's great to announce that the IIHF World Junior Hockey Championships are returning in 2025 to the nation's capital. And it does so much for me with respect to our ministry. And as the Mayor said, this has been a collaboration. A lot of people have been working to make this happen. And I won't name them all, but I'll mention a couple at the end. But like any good team in any good situation, great results come from teamwork. And this event will draw thousands of people to this market. The nation's capital, again, will be a destination around the World Juniors. And that destination brings people that are interested in being here for sport and what sport represents to the community and the effect the sport has on and in the community. And that's another thing that gets me fired up about this opportunity. That's why I'm pleased to announce that our government is providing, thanks to the leadership of Premier Ford, $4 million to help host the 2025 World Juniors. And this funding, you talked about 2009, the impact it had, and I won't repeat the numbers, but again, the economic impact back in 2009 was very, very significant. And it's really what helps us get to the office and do what we do every morning when you talk about tourism, talking about creating opportunities for people within communities to be better at what they do, to create special opportunities to drive their business a little bit higher than what they are because of sport, because we're bringing people together. And what sport does within a community. It's very dramatic. And having been involved in sport a lot in my life, I see the impact it has on all ages. The demographic impact of this will be amazing. Sport is changing, and events like this bring people together and create great experiences. And really, sport is about experiences, either on the ice or off the ice. And that's always been important. So, there's no question that this is going to be a very successful, high-profile, impactful event across the board. And we are so proud to support it. And I also want, MPP Lisa MacLeod and MPP Goldie Gamari aren't here today. But as I mentioned a little bit earlier, and this goes for people in our ministry office, you can't do things without people around you doing great things. And I know Lisa and Goldie have been very supportive of this, and will continue to be, and I thank them for the work that they've done in helping us pull this together with a phenomenal group of team, with a new owner that I'm pretty familiar with. So I know this tournament is going to be a massive success. I know the impact of the tournament is going to be huge, and I'm thrilled that we're part of it. So, Cyril, over to you.
Thanks, Minister. And just to be clear, it is the 2025 World Junior Championships, but it's really only a year away. So we're about a year out. The trophy's awarded in the first week of January, so they call it the 2025 Championships. As the Mayor said, 2009, we did have the opportunity to host this event previously, and this building will be 28 years old next month. And I can say unequivocally that the 2009 World Junior Hockey Championship was the most dramatic, the most entertaining, and the most memorable event we've ever hosted here at the Canadian Tire Centre. So we're looking forward. I don't know how we top that in 2025, but we're going to give it our best shot to try to do that. And I think for me, and I'm sure for most Ontarians and for most Canadians, the World Juniors is our favorite. It's my favorite hockey event. It's the favorite hockey event. But it's more than just an event. When it comes to your city, it's a major economic generator. It drives tourism. The results in 2009 was over an $80 million economic impact. It's more than just an economic generator. We saw the results that galvanized the entire community. The entire Ottawa came together to host the World and to put on a show, and we did that in spades in 2009, and I'm again sure we'll do that again in 2025. And above all, I think the World Juniors is pure Canadiana. It's what you do at Christmas time. It's what you do with your families. You gather around the TV, you watch it on TSN, or if you're lucky, like we will be in a year's time, you get a chance to host that event here in your community. So it's pure Canadiana at its finest, and we couldn't be more proud to be hosting the World Juniors again in 2025. We've talked about some of the partners involved. I would just like to have a shout out as well to those partners that are involved with us on the event. Of course, our friends at OSEG. I see James and Mark here today. Thank you guys for the partnership. It's a unique event here in Ottawa. It's only ever been done in Ottawa, the World Juniors, in one city. Okay, so it's 29 games, 10 teams, one city. That's a unique model that we have here, and we can't do that without our friends and partners at OSEG. Ottawa Tourism, see the folks from Ottawa Tourism here. You guys have a big hand in this, helping us, and we'll do a great job together hosting the World here in 2025. Hockey Eastern Ontario is a good partner of ours. This, of course, the City of Ottawa and the ministers just mentioned in the province. Without that financial commitment, we would not be hosting this event. So it's really important to have that support from the province when you need it to host these events. If you want them to come to your communities, you need to have good partners that will step up when they need to, and we appreciate the work you've done there. And finally, I want to thank our friends at Hockey Canada. Again, they've shown the trust and the commitment to us to host this event again. And Dean, I want to thank you and your board and everybody at Hockey Canada for the confidence in Ottawa. And we won't let you down. We'll do a great job, and we'll host an event that you'll be proud of again in 2025.
Thank you, Cyril. Yeah, it's great to be here, and it's great reminiscing as well about 2009. And probably the irony is that the Eberle goal just got us to the gold medal game. And most people probably don't remember that we won the gold medal game relatively easily against Sweden, but it seems to be lost in the memories of Ottawa. So it's fantastic that we won gold, but the Eberle goal is certainly that memorable moment. We mentioned economic impact a little bit today, and that is certainly significant to the community, and the investment made by the province as well as the city is huge in this community, and we've talked about those numbers, and we certainly know that we can achieve that. But the other impact beyond that is also, across Canada and around the world. We're certainly fortunate with TSN and RDS, our partner, that we broadcast every single game over the World Junior Championship, including the pre-competition games that Canada will be competing in. And normally that number is over 60 million people worldwide that watch the World Juniors. So when we talk about the City of Ottawa and the province of Ontario, there are hockey fans worldwide that'll see the great atmosphere in this building, in the TD Centre downtown, and really understand what hockey's all about and understand what hockey in Ottawa is all about. And that's tremendously exciting. We've thanked a number of the groups in the room today, and I can't say enough of our hockey partners in the game. The one group we haven't called out is the Canadian Hockey League, and certainly not represented here today specifically, but we are fortunate to have a partnership with the Canadian Hockey League that puts our team on the ice. And they've been very supportive of Hockey Canada. Players are loaned into our program as early as December 8th or 9th in order to prepare for the World Juniors in Ottawa. And they're right with us through January 6th or 7th. And it's a huge commitment they make to our organization. So along with our many great provincial territorial bodies in the city and our other partners in hockey, just want to shout out to the CHL. I think it's important that the regional impact this event will have as well. When we award an event to a community, we look beyond just the City of Ottawa to the region and how do we impact the region. And over the coming days and months, we will work with communities in Eastern Ontario to host pre-competition games and camps as part of the event. Teams will arrive in Canada as early as December the 12th, so they'll be here a couple of weeks ahead of the event. And you're going to see communities like Arnprior and Carleton Place and Kingston and Cornwall and those types of locations host teams and really be the first impression when those teams come into Canada. So it's exciting not just for the City of Ottawa, but exciting for the region as well, and the youngsters and fans that are in those communities. It's really important. We are going to launch here in a couple of weeks our priority draw for ticket buyers. The priority draw is an opportunity for those that are interested in buying tickets to get their name in a draw to purchase tickets. We've done this the last couple of years of the World Juniors. I can tell you in the canceled 2021 event in Edmonton, we had 103,000 people sign up for the opportunity to purchase a ticket for the World Juniors. And in Halifax and Moncton, we had over 50,000 people sign up for just the opportunity to purchase tickets. So that'll happen right through this year's event of the World Juniors, running December the 20th through January the 5th, for the opportunity for the public to sign up in order to purchase tickets. And we know there's going to be sold-out buildings. We know we will have probably over 400,000 fans that'll come through the turnstiles in the two venues in Ottawa, and we're certainly thrilled about that impact. The final thing I want to talk about is legacy. And I think one of the most important things we can do as an organization in Hockey Canada is leave behind a legacy in the communities that we're in. And we're going to see a number of types of legacy. Working with both venues will obviously leave a little bit of infrastructure legacy as it relates to improving the communities, improving the building, those types of things. But we'll also see great legacy in youngsters playing the game. And I think at the end of the day for us, those youngsters that were watching the game and as a 9-year-old in 2009 are now going to be a 25-year-old in 2025, and they're going to be bringing their kids to the game, or they're going to be experiencing the game in another way. And we need to leave a legacy behind that they've experienced the game. So we have a commitment as an organization that we will ensure through ticket donation and other programs that youngsters get to experience the games in the venue, but also outside the venue as well. And it's thanks to the great partners we have here that allow us to do that. So again, Mr. Mayor, Mr. Minister, and Cyril, we really appreciate the hospitality. It was an absolutely tremendous bid that you put in. You did guarantee a Canada win, so we will hold you to that. But we're really looking forward to the event, and certainly thanks to everyone for coming out today. We appreciate it.
All right, thank you very much. Open the floor to questions if there is any. Right here to your right.
Hi, I just have to ask, there's still some pretty dark and serious ongoing issues and investigations involving the World Juniors, specifically when they were held in Canada. So I'm just wondering if there still is a dark cloud over this tournament when it's being held in Canada.
Yeah, I think if you, I'm assuming that question is directed at me. Yeah. I think a couple of things that I could say. You know, one would be 2023. We hosted in Halifax and Moncton, and it was a time in our history and our timeline that was a difficult time for Hockey Canada, and continues to be a difficult time. I think the evidence from that event is that hockey fans in Canada still support when that Canadian flag or the Canadian jersey is being worn by youngsters playing the game. And certainly those players playing the game in 2023, you know, aren't living where their predecessors were. So I think that's really important. Halifax and Moncton was tremendously successful in a huge event. I can't speak specifically to the investigations that are ongoing. It's our responsibility as an organization for those to continue to be ongoing, and we are at arm's length to those, because we definitely do not want to be seen as influencing any of those ongoing investigations. But I think the final and most important point is the changes that we're making as an organization that we've made over the last year and a half, that we will continue to make. And there are going to be generational changes to how the game is taught in Canada, how the game is played in Canada, and certainly the culture of the game. Many of you had seen we have a newly elected board over the last month. Many of you would have seen that we produced our maltreatment report from the last year, and we've started to really change as an organization that way. We are very much in the small steps of where we're going to take as an organization, and there's lots of continued change to be made, but really pleased under the direction of the new Hockey Canada board of some of those changes that have been made. And I think we're back to a point where youngsters are registering for the game at the same level they were at pre-pandemic, which is probably the most important measure of success. But we realize there's still changes to be made.
Any further in terms of questions?
If you can do in French, Monsieur Sutcliffe, bonjour, vous l'avez mentionné un peu tantôt, mais qu'est-ce que vous attendez comme retombée, comme impact économique pour le rayonnement et pour la ville d'Ottawa avec cet événement?
Alors, nous savons que le tournoi, oui. Alors, nous savons que le tournoi de 2009 était très, très important pour la ville d'Ottawa et je pense que l'impact était à peu près 50 millions ou 80 millions de dollars. Oui, quelque chose comme ça. Alors, c'est 15 ans plus tard. Alors, j'espère que c'est beaucoup plus que ça. Et c'est très important pour la ville d'Ottawa. C'est très bien pour l'économie, pour le tourisme, pour les résidents d'Ottawa, pour les bénévoles, pour les petites entreprises. Alors, c'est une occasion très, très spéciale et j'espère qu'il y aura beaucoup d'impact.
Vous l'avez mentionné tantôt, mais quel souvenir vous gardez du tournoi en 2009? C'est assez spécial pour vous?
Oui, alors c'était un événement très, très spécial pour la ville. Je me souviens l'atmosphère à Ottawa pendant le tournoi et aussi j'étais ici il y a 15 ans, le 3 janvier, quand Jordan Eberle a compté contre la Russie et Canada, après ça, Canada a gagné la médaille d'or. Alors, c'était un événement très, 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 très significatif pour Ottawa. C'est un des plus grands moments sportifs dans l'histoire de la ville.
Dans la question de précision, quelle est la contribution financière de la ville d'Ottawa pour l'événement?
Alors, nous travaillons ensemble avec Tourisme Ottawa et Tourisme Ottawa a des fonds pour les événements comme ça. Alors, ce n'est pas un investissement de la ville d'Ottawa, mais c'est un investissement de Tourisme Ottawa en partenariat avec la ville d'Ottawa. Et je pense que c'est $1 million. Do you know, Catherine, is it $1 million?
C'est une combinaison de fonds, mais aussi de marketing. Nous avons aussi aidé avec le développement du bid. Donc, c'est un tout. C'est significatif, disons.
Oui.
Ouais.
Alors, je ne sais pas le chiffre, mais c'est beaucoup de choses que Tourisme Ottawa a à faire pour attirer cet événement. Merci à vous.
I just have one question, actually. It's for Minister Lumsden. You talk about the $4 million contribution from the province, and I'm curious, and this is for the economic impact, but a legacy. Would the province ever consider doing anything for the Professional Women's Hockey League, which is trying to accomplish similar things for the women's game?
We're open to anything. I mean, anything that's going to help elevate, number one, the sport, women's hockey. Number two is the ultimate impact. And I look at things at three levels. There's a tourism piece, there's a sport piece, and then the cultural piece that wraps around all of it. And I mentioned culture not in terms of how we are described, but in museums and art, but culture is attitude, approach, and how people think and do things. So, yeah, I think that there's a great opportunity. We were supportive of the World Juniors Women's Worlds last year in Brampton, and absolutely we're talking about.
Sorry, one more question, either for Hockey Canada or for Cyril. Any concern about the rink at TD Place? I know when the curling was held there was reports of roofs that were leaking. Do you think that the TD Place arena can host or be a good host for the World Juniors?
I don't think you should take that one.
Sorry.
You can if you want. It's up to you.
I don't have any issues with the arena. We're quite confident we'll have two great venues to host this event, and it was a great venue in 2009. It was I'm sure it will be again this time.
Yeah, I think we love the venue. We actually were there last night for 67's game. Great venue, great atmosphere. Certainly a lot of the history of the game in Canada is in venues like that, and I think that's amazing. A lot of things I think we can do that are creative as well. I didn't spend a lot of money at the Christmas market last night, but the Christmas market and that whole atmosphere around that location off of Bank Street in the Glebe is just amazing, and we think it's going to be a real draw. So beyond the building, we think that fans are going to be able to experience the game there as well. And we're working on a schedule right now that would likely look at games at noon and 5 at the downtown venue, and then offset here at 2:30 and 7:30 likely. So whether you're at the downtown venue or here, you're able to experience the game outside the venue as well. So we're thrilled with the two venues. They've both been great partners and both great facilities.
Merci. Thank you. Thank you all. Thank you again to the province of Ontario for your contribution to this event.